There was once a quiet village where the sound of flowing water echoed from a small wooden bridge. On this bridge, two boys grew up together. They were like two pillars holding the same beam, inseparable, steady, and strong. From childhood, they laughed together, shared their secrets, and built dreams on that old wooden bridge. They would sit for hours, feet dangling above the gentle stream, talking about everything the world had yet to give them. To the village, they were known as brothers, though they were not bound by blood, but by something stronger: friendship. As they grew, their bond only deepened. They studied together, helped one another with chores, and dreamt of building futures side by side. Their lives were woven like threads of the same cloth. The bridge became their meeting place, the silent witness of their promises and laughter. But life has a way of testing even the strongest bonds. One day, a small argument arose. The details were so trivial that neither could even recall later what had truly sparked it. Yet in that heated moment, pride spoke louder than love. Words were exchanged, sharp, bitter, unnecessary. When the dust of anger settled, both hearts waited for the other to take the first step. Neither did. Silence began to spread like cracks along the bridge. At first they thought it would pass, that one day, by chance, they would laugh again and everything would return as before. But days turned into weeks, weeks into months, and months into years. The bridge between them, once alive with footsteps and voices, became worn and empty. They lived in the same village, walked the same roads, even saw each other from afar. But they never crossed that bridge of silence. They carried pride in their hearts, as though it were armor, yet it only weighed them down. Time aged them. Their hair grew thinner, their faces bore the marks of years, but their hearts still carried the distance of that one foolish quarrel. Then, as life often does, fate brought a moment of truth. One of them faced a heavy loss, the kind of sorrow that bends a man's shoulders and makes his eyes too heavy to lift. He sat on the steps of his house, staring into the emptiness of the road, wishing his friend were beside him, wishing for the comfort of the bond that once made him strong. And far across the village, the other man felt the same hollowness in his heart, a whisper of longing, a sting of regret. He too wished for the warmth of the friendship they had buried under pride. For years, they had lived in silence, but now, life itself was urging them to meet. One evening, as the sun dipped low and painted the sky in shades of gold and sorrow, one of the men finally stood up. He whispered to himself, "Enough. I will end this silence. I will cross that bridge." His steps were heavy, but each one carried hope. He walked toward the old wooden bridge, the bridge that had once carried their laughter, their childhood, their unbroken bond. It was worn now, weathered by the years, but still standing, as though waiting for this very moment. Halfway across, his heart raced. He thought of their boyhood smiles, of their promises under the sun, of the years wasted in silence. And for the first time in decades, his lips curved into a hopeful smile. But when he reached the other side, all that greeted him was silence. There, in front of the house where his friend once lived, sat an empty chair. The door was closed. The walls were faded. His friend was gone, taken by time while he still carried pride. The man stood frozen. His hands trembled, his eyes filled with tears that he had not shed in years. He realized then, with a pain sharper than any quarrel, that a bridge could no longer be crossed. Time had stolen what pride had wasted. The wooden bridge behind him creaked under the stillness of the night. He turned back and walked slowly across it, but this time, every step felt heavier than stone. He whispered into the wind, though no one could hear. I should have spoken. I should have spoken sooner. And so the bridge of silence crumbled, not in wood, but in the heart of the man who waited too long. Pride may win the silence, but it loses the people. Speak before it's too late. Have you ever had a friend, a loved one, or someone close with whom silence built a wall? Share your thoughts in the comments. Sometimes, telling your story helps others break their silence too. Not every bridge can be rebuilt once broken. Some silences last forever. If this story touched your heart, watch The Candle That Waited, another tale of hope that fades with time. Click on the video showing on the left side of your screen. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe our channel. Thank you, and take care.